Parramatta Stadium for this round 20 clash between two clubs who genuinely do not like each other, especially when the opposition are going well.
Look, I'm here for one reason today, and it's to see your old team, Parramatta Eels. It's crunch time for them. They've got all the attacking flair any team could ever wish for. They've got power, they've got size, they've got flair. I just don't know if they can grind it out for 80 minutes against a good, tough opposition. For me, I'm not sure they've got the steel in the belly. They get a chance to show that here today in front of their home crowd.
Well, they do come off a 20-16 victory over Brisbane last Monday night, but they've lost a couple of front rowers. Jared Hayne is the fullback, Krishnan Anu and Eric Growth on the wings. Big centres and fast. Ben Smith will partner Tamana Tahu in the halves, as has been the case all season. Brett Finch in the 6 jersey, Tim Smith in the 7. A forward pack with Feliti Mateo at lock forward. The second rowers, the Hindmarsh brothers, Ian, and today the skipper is Nathan. And up front, no Nathan Kalis. Aaron Cannings comes in jersey 17. Mark Riddell, Fui Moi Moi. Off the bench today, PJ Marsh, Chad Robinson. No Josh Cordoba, he's out injured. So Wella Haraki and Junior Paulo join the 17-man squad. They are coached by Michael Hagan. They take on Manly. 29-22 victors over Cronulla last week. A tight one, but they welcome back their skipper today, Matt Orford.
Yeah, they can wrap up top 2 position with a win this afternoon. We know they're going to be gritty. They'll go for the 80 minutes. That's why they've been winning all these games. Let's have a look at the side. At fullback, and it's Brett Stewart on the wings, Michael Robertson and Chris Hicks. The centre pairing of Steve Bell and Steve Maddai. They can do it with the ball and they can do it without. Great defenders as well. The halves combination, Jamie Lyon returns to Parramatta Stadium this afternoon for the first time since he left, and Matt Orford is back from injury or sickness he is the captain this afternoon. The back row of Anthony Watmo, Glenn Stewart and Luke Williams. Up front, Mark Bryant, Michael Monaghan and Brent Kite. The interchange bench, Glenn Hall, Adam Cuthbertson, Steve Menzies and Jack Afamasaga. They're coached by Des Hasler.
Manly then, from right to left, they take us into the game. And Parramatta coming away from the northern end of the ground. Play out on the 20-metre line after the first run by the 17, Aaron Cannings, a former Eagle. Second play is down to the 30-metre line for Parramatta, playing in their predominantly blue strip, and that is Moi Moi to the 40-metre line. Riddell, short side play. Ian Hindmarsh, Manly, 2 of them in the tackle, Jamie Lyon and also Bryant. Accidental offside against Parramatta. And he's ordered the changeover.
I think Tim Smith has hit the back of Fui Moi Moi there. Saw that costly the other weekend for Jonathan Thurston. Hit the back of Justin Smith on that occasion, but he's got Moi Moi dead set square in the back.
I think he might have mixed up his tackle count, to be honest with you. He ordered turnover. Now he's packing the scrum. Parramatta kicked early, and I think that might have fooled the referee a little bit. So in this situation, the non-offending team gets the feed, and Brett Stewart is tackled just inside the 40-metre line, running towards the Leeds club end of the ground on the Michael Cronin side of the ground. It comes back to the middle for Brent Kite. Kite plays it right in the middle of the 30-metre line. Orford showed it once and gave it the second. Watmo's with the ball, ridden along by Brett Finch to the 20-metre line and 10 in from touch on the western side of the ground. And a penalty goes to Manly. Andrew Voss sideline.
Well, just to let you know, Ray, what the reception's been like for Jamie Lyon, not just on the run on here. They gave it to him on the way out to warm-up out the back. They gave it to him during warm-up. They gave it to him on the way back from warm-up to the dressing room. And running on, I reckon it was akin to when Wally Lewis used to come to Sydney in his prime during State of Origin. Absolutely round to the kitchen from the crowd.
Tap taken by Monaghan. Bryant goes ahead towards the uprights. 5 away. Monaghan counting numbers, right and left. Chooses right, goes behind Williamson, goes on to Lyon on to Bell, and Bell is picked up and driven by his opposite centre three-quarter, Inu. Now they're 12 out. Lyon turning it inside for Kite, and Brent Kite is put away 10 metres away from the Parramatta line. The match coming to you on Nine's Rugby League coverage this afternoon, one of the big games of the year. Orford, he kicks wide, there's a chance here for Manly. Robertson, the number 2. Has put it down for Manly off a perfect kick from Matthew Orford. who won a match for the Manly side against Parramatta last year at the cricket ground with a drop goal.
Well, Parramatta's first kick of the afternoon was an ordinary one, not so for Manly. Matt Orford saw Eric Grove zeroing in off his wing. Second man play. Comes to Orford now. Now watch Grove where he is. He was moving up and in. And Michael Robertson, a real flyer of the competition, didn't have to run too far or too fast to get the first points this afternoon from that wonderful kick off Orford.
Well, when the kick's as good as that, sorry, Ravis, when the kick's as good as that, there's nearly no defence to it. Growth had done the right thing. He went up on the play, but Orford just read it beautifully. It was good play, wasn't it?
Orford then from the junction. It's not going to make it. It didn't have the length either. Manly 4, Parramatta no score. A crystal clear day, but the cloud cover has come across here at Parramatta as Lyon takes the kick off and Kite returns to about 15 metres out from his own line. Tackled by Ben Smith, one of these very talented and strong centres. Oh, good work by Growth. He went in on Matai, shoveled him across the sideline, and Matai did equally well to put the ball back in, but it's come down with the fortune fluctuating to Parramatta and Moi to play it. 12 metres away from the Manly line. Enormous strength by Growth on that occasion. Here is Smith showing it and turning it back on the inside for his captain. Nathan Hindmarsh plays it for Riddell. Riddell goes back to Cannings. Cannings tries to barge his way through, but Manly, with the second best defence in the competition, they turn them around. They push them back. Riddell appeals for a penalty. It's gone wide for Smith. Hindmarsh ran a decoy, trying to take heat away, but Smith had to take the tackle. Now Riddell. This is Finch. Here is the kick. This is the return of serve. Robertson came back down in the field of play. He will play it there, 2 metres out from his own line. This is Matai, who was unceremoniously put across that touchline by Eric Grove, and he's clutching at the back of his head. He's not well, Steve. And Archer calling a hold. He'll move the play, the ball. It's about all he can do, with memories of Jared Haynes still high in our minds from last Monday.
Yeah, it sounds like he's got a little bit of a burn in the neck there. Obviously got his head hit on at the back of the head and a little bit of a pinched nerve. Trying to bash it out of him.
So Manly, through quick hands, have gone to Bell, and he put an in the way on Nathan Hindmarsh and beat him. All ends up and tackled by Tim Smith. Here is Hicks coming away and giving it to Williamson, and Williamson is out to the 40-metre line. So Manly from just inside their own territory, kicking and kicking out on the full. The scrum will pack about 10 metres back on the Manly side of halfway.
And Michael Monaghan there deliberately staying inside his own 40, try and possibly pick up a 40-20. The shakes of the head as Moi winds up. Well taken by Williamson and others, and forced back.
It was in this corresponding match last year where Parramatta lost the use of Moi for the season, basically, with that high shot that he put on Brent Kite. This is Mateo with the famous, it is now anyway, the one-handed carry. Layla Park Jr., 31 metres away from the Manly line. Riddell working an angle there with Ian Hindmarsh, who finishes up playing the ball back where Mateo played it as well. Riddell goes on to Cannings, and Cannings looking around, looking for support play. Another phase, gets it away. It's with Nathan Hindmarsh and tracking him through his Finch, but he'll take the tackle, and it's an upright tackle that eventually sees him find the ground. 20 metres away from the Manly line. 9 Sunday football. Riddell for Tim Smith. Inside ball again for Moi. Manly reading him well. 15 out. On the wide shot, gives you an idea where they are. Riddell goes to the short side. Finch stops, props, tries to duck under, looks to get it away. One-handed take then by Jared Hayne. It's played out by Manly, but they got the ball anyway. Stewart has come down with it. It could have been another freakish try for Jared Hayne. And the Manly player down injured.
That was taking one-on-one to a new level, wasn't it? The one for Manly, Brett Stewart, one-on-one with the one for Parramatta.
They'll need to stop the game here for Glenn Stewart. Too close to the action. Great defence again from Manly. Getting numbers in, driving back. Getting a little bit of ascendancy there in defence. They'll want a good set to get away from their own line after Monaghan put the last one out on the full. Watmo comes centre field.
Watmo to the 20-metre line for the Eagles, who have not won here at Parramatta for 10 years. Williamson finding Matai. He's recovered, and he gets a good ball away to Matai, and Growth is after him.
He's gone down hurt again.
Again clutching at his neck as Orford puts a little kick down in the direction of Jared Hayne with a lot of space to work in, but the defence is led down the park by the kicker. All onside as Orford made the tackle. Parramatta now bringing it away with Ben Smith, who smashed his nose to smithereens the other night. And here's Eric Grove Jr. linking with Smith, and these two monsters on the right for Parramatta. They take it to the halfway line. Riddell goes behind Mateo. Finch goes across the face of Hindmarsh. It goes to Smith and goes to Inu, and now away to Tahu. The ball on the ground. A mistake made by Stewart. The winger has got the ball on the far side. It's Kristen Inu who plays at 12 away. Tim Smith drifting, showing. Now Cummings. And Cummings is 5-hour penalty Parramatta. He was playing an advantage.
Well, it was a lovely kick from Tamana Tahu and Brett Stewart. A rare mistake. Unfortunately for Inu, he didn't realise that Tahu had gone back on his inside.
Taken by Riddell, a tap and a barge. Held up on the first.
Oh, he's cheeky, Big Mark Riddell, isn't he?
There you go, mate.
He's real cheeky. It's nearly an insult to the defence to think you're going to score there, and he very nearly did.
Hayne at dummy half to Ian Hindmarsh, and Brent Kiter's there with Glenn Stewart and Jamie Lyon defending on the right side for Manly. Now they're close to the sideline over on the Michael Cronin side of the ground, and again it's Smith with two shows, two dummies and two decoys, and Ben Smith doesn't get there for mine. I'll be surprised if he's got downward pressure on this.
And Smith gets to the ball in front of everybody, but misses it and does not score.
As Rabbits pointed out, couldn't get any downward pressure on it. 20-metre restart.
Andrew Voss on the sideline, Vossi.
Well, Steve Matai, Ray, an update on him. I mean, if he was a racehorse, I don't think the stewards would be letting him run. He came over to the sideline. Menzies was all ready to come on, and it looked like Matai was going to come from the field. The doc had a quick check of him and thought, well, no, we'll give you a few more minutes, but he's really, really dusty with his neck injury.
So Brent Kite has tackled 9 metres on the Manly side of halfway. They scored an early try. Scored by Michael Robertson off an Orford cross-kick bomb, and Glenn Stewart plays it right in the middle of the ground. Monaghan gives it back short for Bryant, and Bryant not going anywhere. Tackled by Mateo. Play back for Monaghan to go right for Jamie Lyon's right foot. And it's a big kick that's going down towards Jared Hayne. The bounce is favoured Manly. Robertson is able to pick it up and kick it. It's gone over the dead ball line. Was he onside? Obviously he must have been. Tony Archer didn't even look at the touch change.
I love this sort of kick. From the right-hand side of the field, the spiral bomb back to the left. It really troubles the fullback and winger for the opposition. They look at each other, wonder who's going to take it, invariably let it bounce, and that time it bounced back to Manly. They couldn't control the next kick.
There's Mateo taking it to the defence and then flinging it back. A speculator, as I call it. Ian Hindmarsh plays the ball. Riddell just getting the ball to Moi before the big fella had run past the station. 3 metres on his own side of the halfway. Fui, Moi. Riddell on for Tim Smith. Brett Finch is the chaser, the lead chaser. He's onside. The bounce is bad for Brett Stewart, but he's able to come back and pick it up and run away from his 10-metre line. Finch is there to bring him down together with Ben Smith.
Well, they've maintained good pressure down this end of the field, Parramatta, but still unable to break the defence of Manly. We're coming back now in a bunch, and if and when Steve Matai leaves the field, it will see Steve Menzies, you would think, again go back into the centre position to cover, as he's done pretty much full time since coming back into the game from injury.
Watmo is brought down right on the halfway line. Now it's with Monaghan. He's got the markers at 6s and 7s, and Bryant is the runner who runs at Riddell. And Cannings it is who makes the tackle. From the high shot we go down to Orford, who puts tries to put a kick in, but it's been snapped up by Ben Smith.
Yeah, he's played at this deliberately, I think you'll find, Ben Smith, and that's the arm goes up for the Manly feed. Chip kick looked like it was going to go over his head, but yeah, he does make the motion of playing at it.
It was a bad kick. It's got a good reward. How do you see that, Rabbits? Was it in the knock-on or charge-down category?
Well,
his hands were coming down, weren't they?
I always thought that a charge down was best described by a player charging down a ball, rising off the boot, and that's what I thought I saw.
I think it started off as a charge down, Ray, and the late movement of the hands. He played at it.
There's not any argument from the Parramatta team which indicates that they were quite happy with the ruling. Here's Stewart, Glenn Stewart, the second row, 19 away from the Parramatta line. Michael Monaghan looking at Williamson's decoy, but he uses him as a runner, and Williamson did well. He's 9 metres away from the Parramatta line. Playing it back again for the 9, Monaghan. Now Bryant is 5 metres out. Manly leading by 4 points to 0. As they go to the left for Brent Kite, and Riddell is up there with Mateo to halt the Origin front row forward. Now for Orford. Orford, a long ball away for Robertson. Robertson gets it to Stewart, and Brett Stewart goes in to score. Corner post was gone. Looked okay.
He's definitely scored this one as well. Second of the afternoon, and only the second time they've been down that end of the field.
Orford's wide. We'll take a break. It's 8-0. Manly over Parramatta. One of the great rugby league clashes of all time, really. They've been in the competition 60 years, these two. They joined in 1947. And they've been to 3 grand finals. Manly have won 6 grand finals. In fact, Parramatta have won the 4. But 3 times they've gone head-to-head on the biggest day in the rugby league calendar. 76 went to Manly, 82 went to Parramatta, and 83 went to Parramatta.
Starting to find some good space, Michael Monaghan around the markers. Flicks that one back to Brett Stewart.
Now they're watching Stewart run, and he finds his brother, and Glenn is eventually picked up and tackled by Moy and Hindmarsh.
I like the way when Brett Stewart gets the ball that his teammates come back on the inside of him so he can keep running. It allows him to use his speed.
Orford goes very high, and Jared Hayne was in a contest with Jamie Lyon, but Hayne came down with the ball. Okay, let's go down to the sideline as Parramatta bring it away. Just hold the phone for a second. Inu is tackled after a good gain of 10 metres. Ben Eichen is with us.
Right, you mentioned Jamie Lyon before. I've been really impressed with his season so far, and even more impressed with the persistence of Des Hasler to keep him at 5'8". He's not a natural 5'8", but he works well together with Matt Orford. You throw in Michael Monaghan and Brett Stewart, it's a lethal combination.
Stay with me, Ben. What's your fix on the game so far?
Yeah, well, I think Manly have started the game great guns. Parramatta are in this. They're shooting it out to the flanks. Here goes Guru.
Yeah, here goes Grove down the right side. Oh, he sprints away. Why he didn't improve, I don't know. There wasn't a player within 20 metres. All he wanted to do was swallow dive in and take the 4. Might be easy to say from the grandstand, but gee, he could have improved it.
Oh, give him a go. He's just scored a great try. Not too many negatives in this. Look at the strength, reminiscent of his father.
On its way. It's got height. It's got length. It's going between the uprights. And it's 8 points to 6. Try scorer applauds his other winger. And here it is again. Bang, push, shove, sprint, and in. Growth.
He actually apologised then. He knew, when he got up, Ray, he knew that he could have taken it in, and he actually apologised before taking any adulation for the try.
Cannings.
They got 6. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter now, I understand that. So Ben Smith is with the ball, Andrew sideline.
Oh, it's an amazing afternoon already shaping up. The crowd is loving it. They're booing every time Jamie Lyon gets anywhere near the ball. But Eric Grove Senior, I don't know whether he's at the match today, but a similar run, ironically, against Manly in the 83 grand final over in the far corner at the SCG.
He's given us all some thrilling moments. His dad and his son is starting to emulate one of the greatest wingers of all time. Here's Tim Smith stepping and leaving Glenn Stewart on the grass behind. The kick is not bad. It's making Hicks think about it. Now he's forced to pick it up. He scored a try against Parramatta on their last 3 meetings. Young Hicks, who's bound for Warrington.
Well, the kick was superb from Tim Smith. He had to do a lot of manoeuvring to get into a position, and he picked the mark well, got the weight exactly right, and it was nice confidence shown by Chris Hicks to throw the ball to Stewart as Bell gets out of dummy half. Picks up a couple, 28 from his own line.
8-6 the score, a quarter of the game gone. Matai is back with us again. Just inside the 40-metre line. Monahan kicks from inside 40. Coming out of the deep is the fullback, Jared Hayne. And here is Hayne, tackled on his own 40-metre line. Glenn Hall is on. Mark Bryant is off for Manly. Tim Smith, Brett Finch, then Ben Smith. Matai is on Smith, and he goes to ground on the halfway.
Moy off, Chad Robinson on, Growth out of dummy half.
And Growth, he's inspired. He's been motivated, I'm sure, by these couple of tries down his side. He's playing with a lot of vigour. He now gets a penalty.
That's a real good point you make about Eric Growth Jr., because there was a time in his career when he was younger, had he made a couple of mistakes earlier, they'd have put a couple of tries on him. He'd have just subsided out of the contest. You wouldn't have seen him. But ever since they scored those 2 tries, he wants the ball. He's getting the dummy half, crashing into them, scored a great try. I don't think he's finished yet.
Riddell taking the tap, and he just left it too long. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it was rehearsed that way, but the people that were going to get it were in front of him. Finch scooping it away for Ian Hindmarsh, who runs at Williamson and Monahan and Kite. A 3-man Manly tackle in front of the uprights at the southern end. Now from Riddell, back to Smith, back for Finch, inside ball for Robinson. And Chad Robinson to play the ball, with the line a couple of metres in front of him. Riddell, a long pass. Tim Smith jinks, and then Glenn Stewart doesn't mess about. Takes the man with the ball and takes him to ground. Tamanatahu shows it to Nathan Hindmarsh, and Glenn Stewart hunts him down like a posse and puts him on the ground. 11 away from the line. Short side. Oh, it's on the ground and being booted over the dead ball line.
Does the knock on first up against Michael Monahan? I think it is, from the way that Tim Smith has reacted.
No advantage, I heard him say.
No, well, Monahan dived at the football when Smith kicked it. And was ruled to have knocked on, no advantage to Hindmarsh or his chasing team.
So Parramatta with the loose head and feed, 10 metres out, 20 metres in from the eastern grandstand. And Tim Smith goes to Brett Finch, then to Mateo. Now it's gone to ground, and Manly contested, and Brett Stewart has got the ball, but there's a knock on. Knocked on against Manly, according to Tony Archer.
Yeah, he's saying the first one was knocked back by Parramatta, knocked on by Manly. So they'll get another chance with the ball. Manly a little more cautious about coming up and in since that Growth try. It's obvious that Brett Stewart's had a knock on, and Parramatta no infringement. Here they go again. Growth has gone infield off the scrum.
So Smith away for Tahu, and Stewart full back. It's not an easy job to nail Tahu when there's that much space between you. Now it's with Anu. 18 out from the line. Eastern side of the ground. Running towards the Brett Kenny terrace end of Parramatta Stadium. And Nathan Hindmarsh is pulled down. 15 away from the Manly line. Riddell. Now for Tim Smith. Shaped to kick and passed. Pass to Mateo. 8 metres out. Riddell, Tim Smith again. To the line, and Nathan Hindmarsh is tackled beautifully by Manly's Glenn Stewart. Riddell again. Then for Tim Smith, the kick off the outside edge. It's been knocked into the in goal by Manly. Orford did well to recover. They pick him up and drive him back. And that'll be a line dropout. And Manly leading by 2 as Brett Finch marks the dropout and gives it immediately to Ian Hindmarsh. And then Michael Monaghan came down, and that's a good effort by Manly from the line dropout to make the first tackle 12 metres into their own territory. Paulo is on. It's out to Finch, and Finch turns it into Mateo. Back for Adele, and passing at close quarters for Finch, and he ran into a sandwich. And Glenn Hall and Michael Monaghan shake him up, the Parramatta number 6. Here's Tim Smith. Back now for Tamana Tahu. Comes to Glenn Hall, and Hall is able to tackle him. And Tahu will play it 22 metres away from the Manly line. And this is Chad Robinson in 16, getting it away onto Riddell. Now for Tahu. Tahu. Jamie Lyon is on him. And Stephen Bell also. They're 5 away from the line. Tim Smith again. Puts a kick across. Ben Smith will score! Big Ben Smith has scored for Parramatta. He tried one earlier. Didn't quite get it. This time he puts it over the line.
He's a good player, Ben Smith. Injury early in the season. The crowd love it.
Here's Inu. Inu adding the extra 2. So Parramatta take the lead in the game for the first time after 29 minutes. This was the try by Big Ben Smith. Plunges over the line, and is he ecstatic? Pumping the heart with the gesture. Kid from the country. Where's he come from, Pete? Okay,
He's from the country, Ray.
Corinda, Werris Creek. There's another town up there I can't quite know.
He's from Werris. That's his junior club, Werris Creek.
He's from Peter Wynn and Graham Wynn territory, so he's obviously tough. 19 is Paulo, Junior Paulo. Probably it needs another pronunciation, but he's probably at the wrong place to get it. Here he is again, Junior Paulo. Now Riddell to the halfway, still running. Oh, Riddell allowed to really run a long, long way before anybody really put their hand up and said, let's stop this bloke. Now Smith punching it down in behind Brett Stewart. From his own 10-metre line, he's gone across looking for his winger. He picks up Hicks, and Hicks is tackled in the middle of the ground. 12-8 is the score in favour of Parramatta.
That was brave play. And look at this, Manly have turned it over yet again. All this defence at their own end of the field is starting to tell on them fatigue-wise. They were tremendous in defence, conceded the previous try only from a 5th tackle kick, but the tiredness starting to show, coming up with simple errors.
It was very simple there from Anthony Watmo. Just having a chat with his teammates. And your man is on, Adam Cuthbertson as well.
Parramatta going to the left side. To Tahu's side, but they're well and truly outnumbered over there. Now, if they're outnumbered on that side, like they were 4 on 2, it suggests there might be something offering wide on the right, over towards Grosswing. Here's Inu to play the ball. All that doesn't matter now because time has taken its toll. Here's Chad Robinson, who deputised in the front row when Moimua was suspended as a result of this match last year. Finch, now Mateo, and then Jared Hayne. He beat the number 1, Stewart. He goes around. Hindmarsh runs a decoy, and he goes over to score. There'll be an investigation. There's a protest flag up already. What did Hindmarsh do?
I think obstruction here. Nathan Hindmarsh wanted to run into a hole on the outside back at the angle that the defence doesn't expect. Let's just have a look unless it's a bad decision by the defensive players. Goes across. Hindmarsh will come in left to right in a moment. In he goes.
He's run through the line.
Well, Matt Orford is the man who will claim that he was included. That.
Well, we've always said that you're not entitled to run behind your own teammate, nor is the defence.
Well, he's given the try. Bill Harrigan is the video referee today. 16-8 now in favour of the Eels with the kick to come.
Well, one thing you can take as gospel is it wouldn't have been a try in the first quarter of our season. As Jared Hayne goose steps his way across. Matt Orford saw Hindmarsh coming, and that was just enough to take him out of a defensive play on the try scorer. And all of a sudden, Parramatta have exploded after trailing by 8.
I still think it's a wrong decision, and I've argued with Bill Harrigan about this for years.
It's no try.
Perfect record. An easy afternoon with the kicks for Krishnan Inu. 10 metres out right in front and bangs it over the top of the terraces. It's Sunday football. The Eels 18, the Eagles 8 after 33. Now from Paolo, it's out to Jared Hayne. Hayne is outside 30. Hayne has gone up to the 40. Well, the man of the moment is Jared Hayne. And it's a penalty to Parramatta.
Well, they've got all the running at the moment. They've had all the possession in the last 12, 13 minutes. And Manly are really starting to wilt here. 3 players race in. An easy tip on to a fullback in support. Puts the Manly defence at 6s and 7s. They hold him down. Here they come again, full of running.
And the man taken for Junior Paulo was the man who threw the pass to that man, Jared Hayne. Not bad. Your own 20.
Robinson. Possession, 61% of it has gone to Parramatta. And here's Moi to the 10-metre line. And again, they're close to the upright. 16 from 17 completions for Parramatta. Incredible statistics. Here's Finch, almost through the line. And PJ Marsh is the dummy half. They've gone wide to Tim Smith. He turns and looks on his inside for Chad Robinson. They're a metre out from the line. PJ Marsh, the ball has bounced a couple of times. Robinson puts a kick on it, and Robinson kicked it. Robertson is running it away. 12 metres out from his own line. Tim Smith kicks, Ben Smith marks, scores try. Robinson kicks, Robertson replies. It's all a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? Maddai picks it up off his feet. Nathan Hindmarsh didn't make the tackle. It'd have to go to Ben Smith. Played by Maddai. And here he is, talking of man of the moment, the super sub, if you like, for Manly. Adam Cuthbertson is on. Menzies. Both the headgears are out there. The maroon is Cuthbertson. Here is Bell. Taken and banged down by Moimoi. Menzies is Orford. Keeps it on the ground. Comes down to Anu. Away from Orford. Comes to Glenn Hall. Brett Finch, dummy half for Mateo. A couple of these blokes look alike. Paulo and Mateo from a distance can look similar. Tahu. Rugby League's one community is Young Care today. Young Care's mission is to provide dignified and relevant lifestyles for young people with high care needs. Website www.youngcare.com.au.
It felt very awkward to hear PJ Marsh. You know, he's had neck problems in the past. Never a good sign when PJ stays down, and he did get collected fairly awkwardly here as he goes to ground. Bang.
Dear, oh dear. Nothing wrong with the tackle. Just trying to pull him down like they're coached to do, and the head gets in the wrong place. The trainer has given the thumbs up in the air, so it would appear that he's okay, just stunned. But you can understand him being cautious with the history that he's had.
100 games for the Eels. For this man in the spotlight at the moment.
He's going to be spoken to here, Glenn Hill.
This is not a penalty, surely.
Just listen, mate. Just listen.
Stay with him.
come down and upstairs it's been reviewed. It was around the neck and he drove him into the thing. The tackle's on report, okay? It's a penalty.
Absolutely ridiculous. That is an absurd decision. Absolutely absurd. All he's done is drag him down to the ground. That is not a penalty. It's an accident. And on report, disgraceful referee.
Tim Smith then, just outside the 20-metre line. They will resume with the tap. And this is Junior Paulo, 17 metres away from the Manly line. Are there more points there before half-time? Mateo gets it away. Robinson is with it. And Robinson to play the ball. A metre out from the line. PJ Marsh in 14. Seems okay. Oh, my way. Puts it down. And it will come out to the 20-metre line for the restart.
They're in awful trouble here, Manly. They just can't get any quality possession or any flow of the ball at the right end of the field at all. They've been down there twice and scored twice. But that's pretty much it. Parramatta, excellent ball control. 18 out of 20 completed sets. Manly have only had 12 opportunities with the ball.
See, there's a penalty. It's got to be a penalty, that. And it's against Jared Hayne, and I'll tell you why. Because it was probably worse than the tackle that just went on report for Glenn Hall. Watch it. It's around the neck. It's around the neck. Bang. Down he goes. So if Hall gets penalised, then so too does Jared Hayne.
And we'll all be playing in dresses very shortly.
32 metres out from the Parramatta line. It's played by Cuthbertson. Orford putting a play together with Hall, and Hall is met by Robinson and Moy. They're playing without Nathan Callis today, with his mum passing away during the week. He's been given indefinite leave. And this ball has hit Brett Stewart a fancy on the head and bounced forward. It's Marsh who's using Nathan Haymarsh down a short side. And Nathan is put down 30 metres out from his own line. First tackle Parramatta, 10-point lead Parramatta. 18 points to 8 in front of a healthy crowd. It's seating only here these days. The terraces, of course, have been seated. And 38 minutes of the game gone as they come away to Brett Finch. They've gone wide for Ben Smith. He comes to Matai, and Matai puts him down. Andrew, it's right in front of you.
Yeah, Ray, if you're looking for an indicator on how Des Hasler's treating this match right at the moment, what he's thinking, despite all the pressure the Seagulls have been under, you can see there the big stat, only used the 3 interchanges in the first half. Kept Jack Afamasenga up the sleeve for the second half, so he's still got great faith in his troops at 18-8.
Here's Paulo. Manly's bench. Paulo. That followed a very heavy tackle by Anthony Watmough on Eric Groth Jr. Flicked away by Smith. It's gone on to PJ Marsh. That ball looks to have reasonable weight on it. No, it's gone over the dead ball line. So 20-metre restart again. Groth really took a slammer here from Watmough. And Matai got a shoulder into it. But the big fella Groth, he just bounced away. Got the ball on. Here's Cuthbertson working up the middle. Inside the last minute of the opening half of a match that had been looked forward to with great expectation.
Just wonder whether Matt Orford might try that little tricky reverse kick for Brett Stewart. Time running out before half-time.
He turns it inside this time for Menzies. And Ben Smith is a little bit concerned there with a wrist or an arm. His right arm is in trouble. The number 3, who scored one of the Parramatta tries, has gone to Orford. Orford going back and getting it away to Menzies. Menzies gets it on to Jamie Lyon, to Glenn Stewart. Knocked down by Jared Hayne. 6 more tackles, and Hicks is tackled and pulled down. Acrobatic performance by Hicks. Now, Monahan, he kicks out towards Robertson. Gross goes back with great urgency. And Gross comes away from the 10. Running it at Monahan. And that's the end of the first half. Well, a wonderfully entertaining first half of football, as the blue and gold flags have got something to wave about. No flutters in that performance. 18-8 the score. 3 tries plays 2 tries. But Parramatta with a mountain of possession in their